Go.
Hi, welcome to Range Country Airgun Club. I'm Peter, this is Lawrence, this is Chris, and we're here to tell you how and why AHFT has come about. We set up this club just over 2 years ago, and we set up 15 seated shooting benches and a large area for HFT, and quite soon it appeared that the HFT wasn't popular. And so I went along and did a little survey on the people who were sitting on the benches shooting, and there's a little questionnaire, and they filled in what they liked to shoot, how they liked to shoot it, and they all wanted to come seated and shoot at spinners targets, and for paper they wanted to zero on paper and then shoot spinners from there. So we left it at that. We developed the further area for more seated area, and then Chris set up some competitions last year. These competitions were really popular, so I sat there one day and thought, why don't we combine the two together, the seated and the competitions? And that's where AHFT came from, Alternative Hunter Field Target.
So the AHFT, the best aspects of this is that instead of lying out in the field, in the mud, in the crud, then you're in nice securely concreted area, you're on your bench, it's warm, it's dry, you can shoot in all weathers, it doesn't matter. You don't need your mats, and it's much more accessible for older members if they can't get up, can't get back down, if you've had a back operation, can't get up, can't get down, and also gives the younger members a chance to be able to get into it without going too full on, be it having to lie in a field for an hour and a half and shooting at different targets like that. So then, Chris, tell us how it works.
Thank you very much. Okay, Hunter Field Target. As Peter said, what we looked at doing was trying to get a mix of HFT and our new alternative Hunter Field Target. Hunter Field Target is it's quite a disciplined sport, and it's a number of targets. It's up to 30. Generally they're set at random distances, and the nature of a target is it's generally metal, and generally it will have a knockdown feature, so when you hit it you'll know it's been hit. Now, one of the other differences is that the apertures, the holes through which you can hit this target, they vary. So the further out they are, the bigger the hole. So in theory, the bigger the chance of you hitting it. And similarly, the closer to you, the smaller the target. And what it does is it tests every individual shooting skills in terms of accuracy, because of the size of the hole you've got to get through, and also range finding, which is obviously very important in hunting hunter field target. That's how it came about. So what we tried to do was give all the best bits of that as a challenge and as a sport, but as Peter and Lawrence have said, take away the difficulties, and that's kneeling shots traditionally, laying prone on the floor, and standing. Now what we did was we took those three elements of hunter field target and we did our own spin on them. So our version of laying flat on the floor is what's called a supported shot. So this is where you're sat at your bench. This is all bench based. You sat at your bench, you have both elbows on the bench if you want, and you have a beanbag to rest on. That's the majority of the shots that you'll take. The next stance, for want of a better phrase, this replicates the kneeling shot in HFT, and this is where we take away the beanbag. So all you have is both elbows on the table, but you're effectively holding the gun free. And the last shot, the last stance of shot, style of shot, and this is the smallest amount of ones that you'll do this way, is stood. You can, if you want to, sit to take a standing shot. Now I know that sounds silly, but actually a standing sitting shot is like that. No contact with the bench. Alternatively, you can stand, but you are allowed to rest against the bench to take your shot. Now those two, they're the much smaller percentage of all the shots that you'll take. So most of them will be on your bench with a bag. And that's us trying to replicate and give that extra skill level to alternative HFT, which is what we've got. Okay, so that's roughly how AHFT works. Now, the next question is, how do you get involved? How do you find out about it? So I'm going to pass back to Peter, who's going to tell you what we've done so far, what we're doing to try and encourage contact and association with other clubs.
We're creating a website and a Facebook page giving all the information about AHFT. All the contact details will be on there, and our aim is to try and get this into a lot of clubs all around the country so that we can get into club competitions and we can get a lot of people shooting AHFT. It's a very accessible competition. It's a way to have a lot of fun. There doesn't have to be any snobbery in it. It doesn't matter whether you're shooting a day state or shooting a Walther. It doesn't matter. You're going to enjoy it and you're going to improve your shooting and you're going to make friends. Have a look at the new website, have a look at the Facebook page, drop us an email. Either myself or Chris will respond to it. You'll find a lot of information on there. We're still developing it. It's still in its infancy, but we've got a real good feeling about this one. We think this is going to be popular. It's going to get a lot of people out there shooting and really enjoying the shooting.